Welcome to Space Mysteries, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The news broke on a sweltering August morning, not with a formal announcement but with a furious post on Truth Social. Former President Donald Trump was livid. "Mexico rejects our great American milk, a total disgrace, they will pay." Mexico, a key trading partner, had just rejected a massive shipment of American milk, a direct hit to the American heartland. For many, the news was a shock. Dairy has always been a cornerstone of U.S.-Mexico trade. American farmers depend on Mexico as a top customer for their milk, cheese, and other products. The rejection felt personal, a slap in the face to hard-working Americans. Trump's rage tapped into a real sense of betrayal. Why would Mexico, so intertwined with the U.S. economy, suddenly turn its back on such a fundamental American product? The timing could not have been worse. The U.S. economy is still recovering, and dairy farmers are already struggling. This was not just about lost revenue, it was about stability and trust. As the story unfolded, it became clear this was not an isolated incident. It was part of a larger, calculated move by Mexico. Millions of gallons of milk now sat in limbo at the border, a logistical nightmare and financial catastrophe. The immediate focus was on Trump's reaction, but the real story was happening on the ground. In the dairy barns of Wisconsin and the processing plants of California, livelihoods were suddenly at risk. This was a story of broken promises and economic hardship. For thousands of American families, the future had never looked more uncertain. The fury was just the beginning. Mexico's decision was months in the making, driven by growing concerns over quality control and food safety. Mexican officials had repeatedly flagged inconsistent compliance with their strict regulations. According to Mexico's Secretary of Agriculture, several U.S. dairy shipments failed to meet standards for antibiotics and hormone levels. "Our responsibility is to the health of the Mexican people. We cannot compromise on food safety," Villalobos stated. The main issue, RBST, a growth hormone banned in Mexico but allowed in the U.S., Mexican inspectors found trace amounts of RBST and antibiotic residues in recent U.S. milk samples. These findings gave Mexico the leverage to frame the rejection as a public health issue, not a political one. Over the past year, Mexico had sent multiple warnings to U.S. producers, requesting more rigorous testing and documentation. Many in the U.S. dairy industry underestimated these warnings, thinking Mexico was posturing for trade leverage. But Mexico was not bluffing, they were preparing for a major policy shift. The final straw came when a major shipment was flagged at the border near Laredo, Texas. On-the-spot tests confirmed their fears, and the order to reject all incoming U.S. milk was issued. The move sent a clear message. Mexico would no longer accept what it viewed as substandard products. The rejection was calculated, designed to force the U.S. to comply with stricter standards or lose a valuable market. This was not the first time such concerns had been raised, but it was the first time Mexico acted so decisively. The U.S. was caught off guard. The dairy dispute was now a full-blown international crisis. American producers faced a stark choice: adapt or lose access. The stakes had never been higher. The world was watching. While the U.S. reeled, Canada celebrated. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced a new billion-dollar dairy deal with Mexico. The timing was no accident. Canadian negotiators had quietly positioned their dairy as the high-quality, reliable alternative. Canada's strict regulations, no RBST, rigorous animal welfare, and tight antibiotic controls, became their biggest selling point. Canadian trade officials presented Mexico with detailed certifications and a joint quality monitoring program. They didn't just sell milk, they sold trust. Trudeau hailed the agreement as a win for both nations, built on high standards and fair trade. The deal provided stability for Canadian farmers and a dependable supply for Mexican consumers. It was a quiet but powerful move on the North American chessboard. The billion-dollar figure meant new jobs, guaranteed income, and a boost for Canada's agricultural exports. Canada had seized the moment, deepening its political and economic ties with Mexico. The U.S. loss was Canada's gain. The North American dairy landscape had shifted overnight. Canada emerged as a key player. The alliance was sealed. The contrast between the American and Canadian approaches could not be more stark. The U.S. relied on its size and historical dominance, assuming Mexico would accept its terms. This approach ignored Mexico's growing insistence on quality. The result? A broken deal and a damaged relationship. Canada, meanwhile, listened to Mexico's concerns and tailored its offer. They embraced Mexico's regulations as a marketing advantage, highlighting their own strict standards. This patient, respectful strategy paid off with a billion-dollar deal. The core difference lies in the dairy industries themselves. The US system is built for mass production using RBST to maximize output. Canada's supply management and hormone bans produce more expensive but internationally accepted milk. In this case, the Canadian model won. The lesson's success in modern trade depends on adaptability and understanding, not just size. Countries are asserting their own standards. The nation that listens and adapts wins the deals of the future. Old assumptions and loud demands are no longer enough. The US was left behind. The world had changed. Far from the headlines, the real impact is felt in America's heartland. For thousands of dairy farmers, this is not politics, it's survival. Family-run operations built on the promise of stable markets now face a broken future. The sudden loss of Mexico creates a massive surplus. Prices plummet, pushing farmers to the edge. In Wisconsin, a farmer who just upgraded his milking parlor now faces bankruptcy as milk prices drop below production costs. Every day he loses money, and the future is clouded with doubt. The pain spreads beyond the farm gate. Truck drivers, plant workers, veterinarians, and local businesses all feel the ripple effect. In small towns, the dairy industry is the lifeblood of the community. The loss of the Mexican market means layoffs, shuttered businesses, and economic hardship. This is the human cost of a trade deal gone wrong. Sleepless nights, foreclosure notices, and tough conversations at the dinner table. Farmers feel abandoned, caught in a dispute they can't control. They are not just statistics, they are real people with real families. Their stories are a powerful reminder of what's at stake. When diplomacy fails, communities suffer, the crisis is personal. Political leaders responded swiftly, exposing deep divisions. Trump blamed the Biden administration, declaring, "This would have never happened under my watch." His rhetoric aimed to galvanize his base and paint current leadership as incompetent. The White House responded with measured diplomacy, expressing disappointment and pledging to defend American farmers. U.S. Trade Representative Katherine Tai promised to use all available tools to resolve the issue. State leaders, like the governor of Wisconsin, called it an economic emergency and demanded federal action. Meanwhile, in Canada, Trudeau emphasized partnership and high standards, avoiding gloating. The contrast was clear: anger and blame in the US, calm professionalism in Canada. The leaders' reactions told a story of chaos, diplomacy, and strategic success. The crisis had become a political flashpoint. The world was watching how each nation would respond. The stakes were high. The next moves would shape the future. The impact of Mexico's decision ripples far beyond dairy farms. Thousands of trucks sit idle, drivers lose wages, and warehouses overflow with unsellable milk. Processing plants scale back, leading to layoffs and uncertainty in local communities. A cheese factory in California may have to let go hundreds of workers. The surplus could mean lower grocery prices, but it's not sustainable. Farmers and processors are squeezed. If farms go out of business, future prices could spike. The food supply chain stability is at risk. The dispute also damages broader US-Mexico trade relations. Other industries now worry they could be next. Instability deters investment and trust. The milk rejection is a crack in a vital trading partnership. The consequences could be long-lasting. The milk crisis has become a political football, exposing deep divisions. With midterms looming, both parties seek to use the issue to their advantage. Republicans blame the administration, calling for a tougher approach. Democrats defend diplomacy, but struggle to reassure suffering farmers. The administration is caught between appearing strong and avoiding a trade war. Communities are tense, frustrated with politicians more focused on blame than solutions. Populist messages gain traction, promising easy answers to complex problems. The crisis erodes trust in institutions and fuels polarization. Experts warn that politicizing trade makes compromise harder. What began as a milk dispute could spiral into a wider conflict. The political battle at home risks making the international problem worse. The stakes are higher than ever. As the dust settles, the path forward is uncertain. American dairy farmers face oversupply and collapsing prices. The government is under pressure to act. Emergency aid and tough negotiations are likely next. U.S. officials must address Mexico's quality concerns with real solutions. This crisis is a wake-up call. Relying on one export market is risky. American producers may need to invest in stricter standards to regain access. The issue will shape upcoming elections, especially in farm states. The future of North American trade hangs in the balance. Will the U.S. choose confrontation or adaptation? The story of the rejected milk is far from over.